and tell them you look amazing today. I always love beginning like that for a reason. Just tell them you look so wonderful. If it's even possible, mubaza kogastire wagakuye nyabugogo cyangwa kariho izina. It's amazing to see you all. Personally, I think I've seen people I haven't seen in a while. Kahol Karemera, I don't know the last time we've seen each other. I think I was still, yeah. She's done an amazing job. I think the first ever platform that we got in the comedy industry, she provided it. It's a beautiful thing to see people that we have here. I'm seeing a lot of faces that I'm picking up, and today is a very different event. Normally I don't host events where my father is in the audience. So I hope this doesn't turn into another Airtel ad, if you remember. Anyway, tonight is very special, and just like you, I know you've seen the word Be Creative. I don't know if you understand what it means. Most of you might think it's a call to action or something, but I have some information, and by the time you go home, you are going to be smiling all the way. Trust me. Trust me. This is when somebody say, "Ya mavi wakobotse abone igisubizo." Let me put that into context. The prayers that you've had for a while are going to be answered. And I'm not here to tell you why and how, because we have enough time for that. Now, are you ready for us to begin? Yes. Are you ready for us to begin? Yes. All right, beautiful. I'm also ready. My name is Arthur Ngusi, and I'm so glad that I get to become your MC tonight. I mean, imagine among the creatives that we have here, and I'm so blessed to be the host. But I'm so glad that you're here, because without you, then this event wouldn't mean anything. So please give yourself a round of applause for making it on time. Do you know what people say out there on artists? We were here on time. On time, weren't we? Yeah, apart from these few seats, we can say that's the Holy Spirit taking the seats just a little bit. All right, but we are going to begin. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to delay into words. We're going straight into the muscle. Allow me to welcome the one and only that is going to give tonight context through a beautiful performance. Put your hands together for Angel Mutoni alongside Esther, playing a beautiful instrument to give us the story of why we are here tonight. Thank you.
It is seconds, then minutes, and then hours of deliberate thought, of daring to dream what once felt impossible and shaping it into something real. It is long nights where imagination spills onto paper, melodies searching for breath and becoming song. Visions turning into color and light. Stories finding their way from a quiet room in Kigali to the wide, waiting world. It is the trembling thought, the trembling moment of doubt when the question of how will they see this echoes louder than the applause ever could. When the weight of effort presses gently against the heart. It is hours and days of beginning again and again and again and again and again and again until the design feels alive in your hands. Until your spirit whispers, this is it. Until the perfect sound hums back to you. Akazi. It is work. This is work. Sacred work. Work that asks for time, for patience, for skilled, honed in silence, and work that requires and asks for capital. Because as the mind labors, as the hands build what the heart envisioned and imagined, creation will not and does not survive on passion alone. So our Rwanda, our creative scene, rich with storytellers, filmmakers, designers, musicians, rich with heritage and vision. Once our scene needs more than applause, more than streams, more than praise shared in passing. It needs investment. It needs funding that believes in the potential before it becomes profit. It needs tools, studios, stages, cameras, canvases, software, space, all of the above, the material means to transform inspiration into industry. Support must move beyond consumption, beyond listen, beyond view. It must become partnership. It must become policy. It must become capital. Capital that is placed into the hands of those who are willing to create, who dare to create, and those who dare to dance and sing. So listen, all of this matters because when Rwandan creatives are financially supported, their art does more than just exist. It employs, it exports, it elevates, and it endures. And in supporting them, in supporting us, we are not only funding art, we are funding industry. We are funding dignity. We are funding possibility. Thank you.
One more time, a round of applause to Angel and Esther for that beautiful performance. Bangi Yabahanzi. And one line really struck well: by funding artists and supporting artists. It's not just the individuals, but it's the industry, it's the possibilities, it's the hope and the dignity. I think that is a clear line that we can all take on. And I would love to take a moment and also acknowledge some of the partners that we've had here today, especially the development partners that we have in the house. We have British Council that is here with us, the British Council. We have Embassy of Switzerland here in Rwanda. And we also have representatives from the MasterCard Foundation that are also going to be joining us in the few. Thank you very much. And the list is really long. We have different partners. I'll keep on mentioning them as we go. I can already see some artists that I've seen here in the house in different sectors. I've seen musicians. Oh, by the way, we have a legend in the house. I don't know if he got the information. Yeah? Yeah? Does anybody know a gentleman? Well, I'm sure my dad might know the guy. He's called JC Cameron. He's in the house. Could you just rise and give it, and just give us a wave, a small one, and you can see that we have a legend in the house, people. And what does that mean? It means we are trusted and we are endorsed as creatives at all levels. Now, most of you have questions. I completely understand. If I wasn't the MC, I would also be having questions. Okay, what is going on? And I would have the same question. So allow me to first bring a video for context, and then I'll continue with the program. Is that okay? All right, enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, that is for your context, for you to know what we are up to, and Bkreative is here. You're about to get more information on how do you become part of Bkreative in just a few. Now we have another video that is going to be playing and is going to answer another question you might have. Replay.
After school, something nice but not serious. For some people, there is nothing unserious about it. They left home with a small bag, a laptop that overheats, shared rooms, temporary couches, unpaid gigs, borrowed tools, whatever it took. They worked jobs they didn't love just to fund their work. Created all night, showed up exhausted till next morning. Family asked, when will this become real? Friends chose safer paths. Still, they kept going. Not because it was easy, but because staying still felt smaller than the risk. They didn't just want to create. They wanted more. More than talent without opportunity. more than project-to-project survival, because creativity isn't a side hustle. It is work, it is skill, it's culture, it has value. And even when the work starts to pay, new barriers appear. Production is expensive, growth needs capital, and the business behind the art gets complicated. So the ones who take the biggest risks often get the least support. But creators who want more don't just turn back. They keep building, they keep investing, they keep betting on themselves. And that's why Bkreative exists. For creatives who want more. Bkreative focuses on 3 things. First, funding the work. Up to 1 billion Rwandan francs to produce and promote creative projects. Up to 500 million to build studios and upgrade equipment. Up to 70% upfront on signed contracts so opportunity doesn't have to wait. And flexible personal financing of up to 500 million for long-term goals. Or up to 50 million Rwandan francs for immediate needs. Second, knowledge and access. Workshops led by real creators, and the Bkreative podcast connecting artists, industry, and policymakers, because creators shouldn't always learn the hard way. Third, digital tools built for creators. Fast payments, income tracking, turning creative work into financial credibility. Bkreative is where creativity becomes income. Bkreative, for creators who want more.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a creative that wants more, you should be clapping as much as more you need. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I told you by the time you head home, it's only good news you're getting, all right? Bkreative is here and it's officially out, and now you know. You can get up to 1 billion. Did I get it right? Is it Rwandan francs or Zimbabwean dollars? Because this is going to be beautiful. But I'm not here to give you details. Allow me to welcome the person who will emphasize the message for me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the CEO of BK, Dr. Diane Karusisi, on stage.
Thank you, Arthur, and good evening, everyone. Wow, what's the energy? I love the energy. I've seen in the audience, I've seen my favorite artist who is the top on my playlist. So you can imagine the energy tonight. So Minister, thank you very much for being here. All our honorable guests, thank you very much for being with us tonight. I think it will be a night to remember. I want to say that it will be a night to remember for us, for our creatives, and for our culture. So thank you for all the artists, all the creatives for being with us tonight and for trusting us with your business, because now we understand that the creative economy is a business. As a bank, we want to be where value is created. And mind you, we are 60 years old as a bank. This year we are turning 60. And it has taken us 60 years to understand that value is created in the creative industry. 60 years. But we won't waste any more minutes. You know, from now on, we know that there's value created, and we will be with you. So to all the musicians, to all the visual artists, to all the dancers, the performers, to all the digital creators, to all the cultural custodians, everyone in this room, we are here to tell you that Bank of Kigali is with you. You are the heartbeats of our culture. You are the ones that share our stories with the world. So we cannot leave you alone. We want to be with you every step of the way. We know that challenges are many. We've heard from you telling us about your regular incomes, about limited access to spaces like this one to promote and share your art. There's also visibility sometimes that is lacking. And we've been hearing from you for the past probably 1 year, 12 months, and we've been building products that we hope will address your needs. But, you know, we cannot say that we've built something. We want to continue building them with you, We want to get your feedback so we can keep enhancing them. Because today we are 60 years. The people who will succeed me, who will come when we celebrate 100 years, they'll say that BK has been there to support the creative economy, right? So we want to be there. So what we are trying to build is what we call a financial infrastructure for the creative economy. We talked about product, financial products. We want to do training because we believe there's some structure that is needed in the creative industry. You know, banks, they love structure. We love things that are clear, structured. So we're going to try bring some structure into your work. You will bear with us because this is how we function, you know. We can try to change, but we want some structure, we want some predictability, we want some discipline, because this is part of who we are. But I believe that together we can build something that is great. So, yes, we invite you to join us in our journey. We are celebrating 60. Please join us to our journey to 100. We'll still be here in 40 years. BK will be here. I love to tell my colleagues that many banks have changed names, right? Some of you are as old as me, know that, banks have changed name. But for us, we've been BK, and we will be BK in 40 years. So when we celebrate 100 years, I think we'll give a big stage to our creative industry so we can have a serious celebration. And this is what we are planning to do this year. We'll have a lot of stages for us to celebrate together, and we'll count on you, the creatives, to make this party a real party, not only for bankers, but a party for Rwandans. So thank you very much again for being with us. It's a journey that we are starting. We know that it won't be easy, but we are so excited about this journey we are starting. Thank you very much, and I look forward for building more with the creative industry. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And I think I actually noticed the way BK doesn't change. Recently, I was checking out on social media, and I think there is a post of the expo that BK attended. And funny thing, the logo is still the same. Isn't it interesting? It's beautiful, and I'll be talking about, and that's a transition on a competition that happened online where designers came together and they competed in creating the Bkreative logo. Wow! Over 1,000 people applied. Come on, let me just say that. Can you imagine? Over 1,000 people applied. Well, of course, some of us went creative and used some AI in there. I mean, come on. But the people that are going to be building the brand are the artists themselves, and I appreciate the fact that BK didn't sit and take away that job. They have a full team that can do it, but they decided the artists to actually take it up. All right? And that's beautiful. Now, I'm going to take 15 to 20 minutes, if you allow me, mainly to focus on the gap that we are closing in and also get more information on the Bkreative. Because I know some of us want details. We want to know this is true. It's not happening for the sake. Yeah, it's actually happening. Can we actually get that money? Does it? You know, we artists, the title we have is more of copywriting titles, but when it comes to land titles, we fear those things. So collateral can become a bit of a problem, and I would really want to understand, are we seriously going to trust creatives and hand them over some good funding for them to grow? But to begin, I have my favorite artist in the house, and I'm going to say it. I love his sound, and I love the way he writes and the way he rhymes, and you understand, it's another tune 6. What do you mean, by the way? Ladies and gentlemen, join me and welcome Kivumbi, the king in the house. Kivumbi, the floor is all yours. What's up, my man? Oh, but you look clean. Look at this.
I had to.
Ah, you had to. Let me just join you. You look good. By the way, what do you say when you sing another what?
Another tune, sick. It's not another 666. I've had many versions.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's another tune.
Sick.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a creative language for some of us who are here. Now, tell me something. I know you started your career some time back. And
As a poet.
As a what?
Poet.
As a poet. I think I heard the Chachana that,
Yes.
that became a rose in your career, if I can call it.
Yes.
So at what point did you realize that, being good and killing it in the studios and writing good rhymes is not all you need for you to make it a career in this creative space?
All right, so like we all know, even when we start, we know that this is going to take some money. Videos cost money. Audios cost money. Those 2-minute videos, sometimes you guys don't even watch, you swipe by. They cost us millions and millions. So we have this in us. We know that it's going to cost us money. And then after you produce the song, let's say, you're going to need to market it because it's a product. It's something that you want people to consume as much as they can.
Yeah.
So you have to invest in the marketing. And that includes media tours. Sometimes these media tours are not only in Rwanda. Sometimes we go abroad Rwanda. We go to East Africa. We go outside of Africa sometimes. We're talking plane tickets and all of this, so we understand how much money we are talking about. And the other thing is placements. We have a saying that nothing is really organic if you think about it, especially in the music. If you hear a song anywhere, you just know that there was some type of pushing to put it there.
Yeah.
Nothing just comes like that. There's playlists like on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah.
To give you an example, Rema's Calm Down, we all know that song. The marketing budget for it was $5 million USD, besides the production.
Wow.
So yeah.
Is it the remix, or was the remix
The
part of
original
the
one.
marketing?
Now imagine the remix also has to come. So yeah. Yes. $5 million
US dollars.
Yes. Goes into marketing worldwide. So if you want to be big, you have to drop a very big check as well. So nothing is really organic. So yeah, I knew from the jump that it will take money.
So let me ask you, and I'm going to get personal here. Did you face any, not everyone faces the issue, I got to say. Some people just understand it right away and they enter into the business with the cash and they produce and they make it. Did you face any financial barriers, if I can call them that?
Yes, I did. And the biggest one, honestly, is financial literacy. We as artists, most of the time we are artists, and that's what we are good at. Other things, we need people to help us.
Yeah.
And we did not have teams, serious teams.
So you were working alone?
Freestyling it.
Freestyling.
Yeah, most of the time.
What does that do, having a team in the industry?
It helps you, first of all, focus on your work, and then it helps people that understand really what they're doing, people that understand finances, go out and get you the funding that you actually need.
So what have you, when you began, you were pitching yourself? And
Yeah,
doing the music?
doing everything yourself. The marketing was word on word. I'm like, go tell your friend that I have a song outside. Yeah, that was really what was happening. But yes, and the biggest one was that, as our CEO was saying, the banks did not trust us. It's not only the banks, it's the companies. As artists, they really don't trust us. You go ask for funds, they're like, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that, honestly. And but yeah, most of it we learn and we sort them slowly.
Oh, maybe still on the personal level, just for you to give us a glimpse on your setup.
Yes.
Have you resolved some of those issues?
Some of them, yes. I'm building a team. I have people that are helping me work, not only here in Rwanda, but we still have many problems as well. Yes. Yeah.
I think the CEO mentioned something about structure, and, and one of the I can call them the functions that we're going to see in this Bkreative is the capacity building, the structure. Yes. What opportunities do you see this initiative would put, especially in your setup? Maybe let's not generalize it, because now you understand your setup.
I think the biggest is the funding, access to capital. Money, yeah. If we have access to capital, that is going to give us these all resources I was talking earlier, placements for big playlists on Spotify's and Apple Music's,
Yeah.
collaborations, because you know, even collabing, even you, I know you have a price for collabing somehow. We all do. So if you
Yeah.
want a big artist and you have structure and you have the funds,
Yeah.
like we can go and now start looking for big collaborations, big names. I'm talking with kids and the videos and them.
But the question still stays, and I think this is what the banks interpret. Will you make back that money? Because I think the reality is you can be given 500 million, but does it bring back the money?
I think we have seen live examples of this happening.
Yeah.
I can be also an example of that. I can say I have made back the money I've invested myself.
Yeah.
So I think if we have even a bigger amount, we have places to make this money back. That's why we need places for concerts. We need also to access these venues like the arenas. When I'm still like, let's say, not a very big artist. So to access a space like the arena, it will need funding.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't have the people who will come.
Yeah.
But it's even getting the space in the first place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you believe if someone gives you the fund, it's possible.
100%.
At the top of your mind, I know maybe you didn't prepare for this.
Yeah.
How much money do you need for you to become the vision you have of yourself?
Can start maybe 1 billion.
My man, my man. And guess what? I have some good news for you.
Yes.
With this architecture that they are creating, the whole infrastructure can give you up to 1 billion. I'm right on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? You can become the Chivumbi you want to become.
Yes.
I'm gonna close it on this and maybe say, what would you say you need most for you to fully feel equipped to handle 1 billion investment?
Well, this one we have started. Of course, even the way we operate now is not, we don't go there as Kivumbi King.
Mm-hmm.
We're registered under companies that pay tax. And if we keep the structure as we were saying, I really think we organize ourselves properly. We work together as a whole industry, so that is not just focused on the music, because I think nothing really moves alone.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be getting the money back.
Artists charge per second, and unfortunately, I have just maximized the quotation. Allow me to release him and thank him for giving us his time, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chivumbi. I appreciate. 1 billion. Rwanda has changed. Yay! 2004, first time I heard a microphone, you asked me, how much do 20,000 will be a lot. I would say 20,000. I am sorry. I would even apologize, but 1 billion. But you know what that means? It means artists and creatives are no longer scared of money. And I think that is the first step. We used to be scared of money. You go to a sponsor and they ask you, so how much do you want? And you don't have an answer for that. And you can't find a number, but 1 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be listening from another person, Raul Rugamba in the house. Raul, please join us. Raul, for those of you who might not know, Raul has been in the industry for a very long time. This gentleman switched on the first microphone we used back at Shooters. If you know Shooters, you should be part of the funders. If you know Shooters, you should be giving money yourself.
I was still young. I'm not that old.
You were still young by then. All right. Raul, I think for those of you who don't know, Raul has become, I can call you a curator now, I think. And it's even beyond that, because you are creating platforms that are bringing together creatives and getting to learn from each other. I think for those of you who know the brand, Africa in Colors, we've attended some of the amazing platforms that you've put up, the events you've brought in, different big creatives. And somebody might wonder, why would Raul do that? Are you an artist yourself? Maybe to start with that.
I am, from the background.
From the background.
I can produce some.
You can produce some.
And create some.
Beautiful. So, Raul, when did you realize you were there and you were like, you know what? You as an artist, scaling your brand will be more than the creativity you have. And it would require XYZ structures, because I know for you, you focus a lot on the sustainability of the brand of an artist. When did you sit and realize that?
Let me start by thanking BK, actually, because a couple of years ago, I was in the office of the CEO, and I was telling her to invest in the creative industries, and it wasn't the time. So today is the day, so I'm happy for that. Congratulations, and thank you to the ministry for supporting our crazy world. So just by giving a few examples, I was introduced to this industry by judo, and I was in the IT world. So my first adventure was producing a cultural event, which was the first in Rwanda back then. And we invested in, I think, around 10, 15 million, something like that, all sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we kept going with the car-free zone, the first event that took place there. It was another investment, and then the WEF was another investment. So all these things were investments we were putting in. But my dad wasn't Bill Gates. So we had to struggle to find money here, to place this, etc. So the gap was also crazy when it comes to waiting for one payment to another, and you have to sort out a couple of things, right? So that moment was one moment where I would say, yes, it was time, if we had an opportunity back then, to figure out how we can get some sort of operational funding, support right there. We will have been able to do more, if I can say it like that,
And I think we've seen you become part of different events and platforms. I think for me personally, I've seen you with judo. I think Positive Production by then, and then you've also set up your own setup. So you've become more of like an entrepreneur. You are an entrepreneur, and somebody would understand that, hey, maybe entrepreneurs in the creative sector, they don't, face challenges, or they are the same as other entrepreneurs that we see. What are some of the financial challenges, to be specific, because here we are discussing money, that you faced, so that for us to get context? Of course, we've heard from an artist, but now we want to see somebody who put up elements that actually support bigger artists more than one.
So I think the first one is the one I mentioned in terms of operational costs, right? Because you need to have the machine keep running, right? And you don't have that type of chance to have the operational money, the money you need to move while waiting for something, while waiting for your next sale, etc. So you need the operational money. The second one will be we invest out of emotions, right? Sometimes in our world, right? So some of the things we do are really based on what did they tell me? It's not working, right? We put it together, our house, and opened it to some creatives, and that was in the faith of saying, this guy will make it tomorrow. Let's pass this thing right now, right?
Yeah.
So, but it costs money. So sometimes it's about emotional investment.
Yeah.
So we have to structure, we have to play it differently on that side.
Yeah.
And then another one will be, it's good to have loans, right? It's a big deal. It's a big thing and important, but it's also good to also look at sort of patient capital, impact capital, where you have more room to move, because debt is one thing, but it can be another story. So we need also that, and it can serve. And we haven't figured out, or we did at some extent, to have that as well, right? So it still is a challenge.
You kept mentioning you needed funds to keep the machine rolling. Where were you getting those funds, if I might just ask? How do you get the funds before this setup?
Well, it's one of the secrets we have in our space, right? So one way is people come together. So I think we all agree that Judo, who's there, has sponsored more than 1 billion we're talking about now, by giving just equipment and expertise, the technicians, etc. And then same thing with GC here, right? So if I have to pay him to bring him down here for a performance, I will, that will cost me a leg. But he's like, oh yeah, good, just cover this, I'm coming over, right? So those kind of partnership. In kind partnership, and also some people are here also with the same vision. Let's build this together, right? People like Carol, they mentioned they were here before us, right? Yeah. So they have contributed. So it's also our mission and, let me say, homework to do the same.
I'm going to build on that and as we close, because I know you're here, you've interacted with a couple of investors, especially those who want to come in the creative space. I know we are getting the support from Bkreative, but also there are some investments that can be done in the creative space. What are the investors looking for? Because I think we've focused so much on, we know what they're looking for when it comes to the tech, startups and all that, but in the creative space, what are they looking for if you've interacted with some?
So I will put them in two or three categories. One will ask, actually after the meeting with the CEO back then, we were working with some friends of ours at African Bank, which we brought here. And the first question they were asking, my guy, your company is too small, we can't deal with you. So the next thing was, do you have a local bank you work with? Right? So that sort of relationship is very important. So if they have a kind of institution that can interact, they can work, that would be also something that we can tap into. And then there is a second example, I would say, around having a product. So sometimes someone will ask, oh yes, you guys have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of ideas, you have the same idea like 20 other million people around the world. So it's not an idea, we want a product. Can we have a product? So concept, proof of concept, a product, one thing that can bring value and money and more investors. So I think that's where it will, this loan and BK work will bring more value as well. And then the last one will be, I think this will also call on other investors on the value chain, right? So when we talk about venues, when we talk about all these other infrastructure projects, sometimes they are real estate projects. They are not venues for entertainment. So most of these guys with extra zeros behind the number, once they see this kind of commitment by a big bank like BK, that will be a call for them to invest on the value chain. That can be a hotel, that can be a venue, that can be agriculture, manufacturing, all those kind of stuff. So I think that's how this thing is important. And
and I think you're right, and thank you. You've shared enough insights there. I want to appreciate and thank you for coming in. Maybe as you go, you can tell us, what is Mr. Cameron doing in Kigali?
What?
What is Mr. Cameron doing in Kigali?
A couple of things. One is meeting all of us. Two, we are looking for a couple of things where he can bring his investment, but also his friends' investments.
I see.
And a couple of other big names coming down in this year or next. And beyond that, he has to support me. That's his homework. He has to be around, emotional supporter.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Raul. Every time I see Raul, I know there is a project he's working on and he's cooking something. I think in a nutshell, this conversation went back on the exact thing we are talking about, structure. I think I've come to understand without structure, whether you are given the 1 billion, you are not going to be trusted. Without structure, you won't have investors. Without structure, even you yourself will not believe in your art. Now, we are closing in. I think what I'm trying to do, I was trying to show you where the gap was identified. I got to know that over 100 people, over 100 creatives were consulted for this infrastructure to be set up. The likes of Bruce Melody, I think I saw Nelly, Zachu, everyone shared their inputs. So what does that mean? It means this is not coming from an office in BK. This is coming from the artists here in Rwanda, and I think that's a good thing. However, I have two questions, and I got lucky to meet Sharon Umutesi. If you can join me, I'm going to ask you very straightforward questions so that we don't think the video didn't give us enough information. I want to know how much, who. Thank you very much. You heard the questions. Sharon, how are you? Sharon has played a very unique role on leading on the project, and I think she's good at this part of giving us the numbers and the facts. Because every time we attend an event, we want, what do we go home with? So I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind. I wrote them down, and I would love to go through them. Now, let's start at the foundation, okay? And this is by just defining what is Bkreative. Some of us might think it's a loan. Others might think it's a product. I heard the CEO calling it an infrastructure. I want to understand, what is it?
Well, thank you, Arthur. So I just want to clarify, Bkreative is an infrastructure indeed, and it's the sort of infrastructure that supports creatives. We're not here to basically say, we know when we say money will come, now money is here. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we're here to support you. If you have, I saw Malik launch something about creatives. We're here to support.
Malik, I saw him, but congratulations on that, by the way. For an artist who hasn't created an account on Murika, then I don't know. You better should. Go on.
Yes. So we want to bring a platform, Bkreative podcasts. We're giving out money, loans up to 1 billion. I think you've already seen whether you have, let's say, a studio, you want updated equipments. We can give you up to 100 unsecured, right?
Unsecured. Bring it back to nursery English. When you say unsecured, what do you mean?
I mean, we're not asking for your land.
Okay.
We're not asking for a land title or anything. You can actually come and get a loan with no collateral.
Wow. Now, Sharon, you noticed I haven't clapped. There is a reason. But what should I present? Is there, you mean nothing? I just come and be like, hey, I have a project. It's going to cost about 500 million. Can you give me the money?
Okay, so let me just give you a background.
Thank you. Yes. All right.
So there is this event we went to for creatives, and one thing, creative was very angry when he was giving this feedback. So he was like, most of the time banks always tell us about financial literacy, but none of them have taken time to have that creative literacy. So it's like we have not understood that space. And what Bkreative is doing is we took the homework, we understand what your collateral or your, I would say, what you call land. We know that that's revenue that's coming in from YouTube. It's a contract you have with Call. It's a, so we understand how you earn your money, and we want to use that to give you more money. So basically we're saying money has come because we know where your money is coming from anyway.
So what you're saying, and I think I'm picking, now I'm gonna clap on that beautifully. Anything that I can present that secures my income generation can become something you work with.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? In the house, think about it. In the house, it can be that YouTube account. How many times do you refresh on the AdSense? Between 21st and what? Those who know, they know. that can become, so if I make money through Spotify, I can present my dashboard and you can pick that as security that I actually do make that money.
Yes, that's correct. And one thing I would say to Kivumbi, we now understand what distribution companies do, right? So yeah, we definitely know where the money is coming from, and we're trying to, and the other thing is, when it comes to FX, we're not charging. Meaning if your money is coming in USD, where it's zero fees. So we're not gonna say we're charging you the transaction fee just because the foreign currency has hit your account. For creatives.
For creatives.
creatives,
For creatives. You got that. I'm sure when this news goes out, everyone is going to become a creative. Everyone, because they're going to be saying, we are all created in the image of God. We are creators. Anyway, I'm gonna go straight to the point here. Let's talk numbers, okay? And I know we've thrown the 1 billion. It's very enticing. And in fact, I feel like a billionaire to be. What are the ranges are we looking at? What is that financial support that you can give so that people here understand? Because as I mentioned, when we say 1 billion, I mean, there are the likes of people who pick it up, and there are others who feel like, this is not our league. I want 5. I'm okay. What are the ranges we are looking at here?
Okay, so I think it's English. It's up to 1 billion.
To?
Yes.
From?
So that means you can even get less than that. Meaning if, let's say, you're an influencer and you want a personal loan, we understand that you get your money from YouTube, from Instagram. You can get a personal loan that is up to 50 million Rwandan francs.
As an influencer?
As an influencer. If you consider yourself an influencer, well.
Well, everyone in Rwanda is an influencer. If you influence your neighbor, then you are an influencer. Listen, people, I want you to take this at heart because I don't want you to feel like this does not belong to you. This is for everybody. You could just present proof of revenue generation and you get the funds needed. Am I speaking?
That's correct.
All right. Now, can we look at the different categories maybe so that someone understands the spectrum? Is it because you said influencers and there are some people who didn't think they belong in that category? Just offhand, could you just throw in a couple so that we know who we are targeting?
I mean, I don't want to call out names, but we also have musicians who are literally musicians, but are also influencers, right? They get those numbers on YouTube, right? So those are already influencers, right? We're talking the likes of DJs, right? If you're a big DJ and you influence people and you get content or likes or shares from you influencing people, then you're an influencer as well.
And you also get gigs. I think I saw in the video, you could look at my LPO and take it as security. Is that true?
That's correct.
So I think artists, this goes back to structure. Those of you who take jobs from handshakes that are not written anywhere, you cannot take Arthur's handshake to the bank. So a contract could work. What percentage are we looking at here?
So let's first track it back.
All right.
We have asset financing. I don't want to spill out jargons here. So let's say you have a studio, you have your equipment. Those are already your assets, right? But you want, let's say, like 500 million, for example. So we're gonna use your assets you already have as collateral right now to give you that 500. So we're recognizing that those are your assets because zirahenda, right?
True.
You didn't get them for free. So we also have, when we say someone who can get up to 1 billion, we need to recognize that you have 50% of that 1 billion. You need to at least have collateral of 500 for you to get that 1 billion, for us to say this person can actually pay back the 1 billion for sure. So we also have the contract-based financing where, let's say, if you were to come and say, I have a contract with, let's say, BK or Skoll or any company, and it's maybe a 1-year contract. We're going to recognize that as an asset and give you 70% of what that contract, which you're going to get from that contract.
So as soon as I'm signed as a brand ambassador.
That's correct.
Am I alone in this conversation or are we together? Are we together? All right, I hope you understand that these are opportunities we are getting here. And those who are sharp are taking notes. And I'm going to ask the question you have on your mind right now. So, what's next? How do we start? We want to be creative now. We want more now.
So the good news is we already started.
Okay.
This was more of an official announcement, but we already have some of the creatives that have gotten that loan.
You're serious?
Yes. So if you know you're eligible, because we're looking for creative entrepreneurs.
All right.
Right? We're looking for, if you have a song out there and you know it's doing well and you're earning from it, you're allowed to come and get that loan. So we already started, and this is just saying, hey, the doors are open. reach out to us. And we wouldn't have done this without the ministry, because these are the policy makers. We've done the research, we've consulted them, we're working together. So yeah, at least that should give you confidence that the government is supporting this as well, together with the bank.
Thank you very much, Sharon. I think I've asked every question I have on my mind, and I appreciate you. Sharon is going to stay around, and I think the CEO, if you agree, you'll be around also. For those who want to ask questions direct, some of you say, if the CEO says it, then it is true. So we'll be around. This is a networking. We have a couple of minutes to end. Thank you very much, Sharon, for your time. A round of applause. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, I will close by saying terms and conditions. Never forget that. Terms and conditions apply. Before I jump into the next phase, because some creatives are in the house and they want to know who is the designer that is walking away with 5 million Rwandan francs. And that is the person that designed the logo of Bkreative. Woo! I can't wait. I think I've seen Ingrid. Ingrid, how are you? Is it okay if I interact with you? Ingrid is leading the BK Foundation, by the way. Just because you see I'm talking to her casually, don't think. And I'm just going to put you on a spotlight, because I know the BK Foundation also has a couple of initiatives that support entrepreneurs in general, young and the youth. Is there anything that the creatives should know before they leave this space? This wasn't part of the agenda, but I'm a creative and I see opportunity when I see it.
Thank you, Arthur. How are you? Well, the foundation is the philanthropic arm of BK Group and BK in general. And so part of our work, when I say philanthropic arm, I really mean we are the non-profit organization of the group. And so our value here, see us as a de-risking partner for you, the artists. So what we bring on the table when it comes to Bkreative, we will be providing clinicals, capacity building spaces for you. So I like when you say that you had a gap. Kivumbi mentioned it when he said he had a gap in financial literacy. And so what the foundation and the bank are doing together is to close those gaps, making you and helping you understand your financial fitness, your loan repayment, understanding debt in general, understanding your business as a person, but also as an artist, and also planning for your future and your retirement. You know, people do retire from being artists. And so that's what we bring on the table, and we will be doing this so that you can be more attractive and structured better when it comes to the loans that you want to apply for. And so in a nutshell, that's what we will do.
Thank you. I think that's clear. Now, this is not a one-way conversation, so I'm going to take two people who have questions quickly, and you can easily direct them to the people you think they need to be directed to, apart from me, unless it's about when are we ending this agenda. Anyone? Just two people? Yes, Zuba.
Good evening, everyone. My question is more towards the before. So we're seeing a transition into creative industry jobs being taken seriously. And with that, is there a way that Bkreative will empower creatives even before they step into the industry? So we're talking about soon-to-be graduates entering uni, high school as well. So that financial literacy being able to start from before you enter the industry so that you have a better footing when you get in.
Thank you very much. Do we have a plan on supporting the creatives to be? Unfortunately, I'm taking two questions, but this is only to spark a conversation. Afterwards, we'll be going into the networking, and you can easily ask any question that you see fit. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Robert. My question was, are there ways you can facilitate creatives to have access to international payments? Like, for example, we've been having, like issues where, for example, you have to receive payments on platforms such as PayPal. Is there a way you can enhance maybe platforms such as Root or Pay to facilitate creatives to get payment easily? Maybe if it could be an integration between PayPal, for example, and Root or Pay, so that at least a part of this can help also artists and creatives to repay back the loan by having access to different markets, so that they can actually even get to more customers and bring more revenue for them. I believe that could be a helpful point for BK to think about if it's not there yet. But I think Root or Pay already is doing something locally. If it could be also enhanced to facilitate international integration payments, that could be an added value for creatives. Thank you.
Thank you. And in a nutshell, there are two beautiful questions. Is there a way to support artists receiving their funds from international setups? And I know that is a serious problem. Someone has their money seated on an account and they cannot withdraw it. It's a serious problem. And are we looking at setups on looking at the visions? Those that are visionary, they are not yet ready to get the loans. But what are we looking at? Gianni, is it okay if I put you on a spotlight to answer these two? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. I think we are open to integrate more payment solutions and to see what are the payment solutions that are the most relevant for the creative industry and to see how we can integrate with them. Now, we've tried in the past to integrate with Apple Pay, but sometimes Rwanda is not even on the map for some of these large companies. But let's sit together. Let's see what it requires from us. And even when Rwanda is not on the map, we can always partner with another bank, an international bank, because we have a network of banks that we work with, and see if you can have your funds, for example, with one of our correspondent banks, and then the funds will be sent to your BK accounts. We are open to look at solutions that are relevant for you. I think on the other question, Ingrid is the right person on the financial literacy for creators to be.
Thank you. On the question on creatives to be, I think this last year, towards the end of last year, we started a program with, we started with just one partner, but we are open to more partners. We started in terms of scholarships for artists. And so what we are looking for is young people who have a talent, who really need support in terms of academics, but leading the path to developing their artistic skills. And so that's what we started with. I think we started with Sherry Silva, but we are open to more partners. And then when it comes to financial literacy, it's not just limited to the entrepreneurs we work with. And that's why we are here today. So we are also open to working hand in hand with the bank to enhance your financial capacity and financial skills for you to be able to tap into other opportunities, be it investment. Of course, be creative first, and then other investment that can come your way. We will be able to help you once we've started working together. Thank you.
Yeah, you can give the round of applause. Don't. Yes. Beautiful. Now, I think I just took two questions, mainly to show you that you could easily come up to them and ask anything that you wish. Now, recently, I think it's good to spotlight this. I know it's not part of the agenda, but I've seen Malik here, and you recently put together, in partnership with the ministry, as well as L'Espace and Chinarwanda, what are we looking at with Murika? And we have creatives here that would love to know straight up on it, maybe for me to understand what are the opportunities.
Yes. Thank you very much. Murika is a digital platform that is basically coming to solve some of the other issues that were discussed here. For example, we talked a lot about contract, and we know one of the issues that artists have is skilling, right? You sit with someone, you don't know when your intellectual property is going to be stolen because you don't know how to sign an NDA. You'll go to a bank, they ask you a business plan, you don't have a business plan. So Murika is first of all, it's coming to sort out the skills part for creative. But also, most importantly, it's a platform to highlight who these creative are, right? So there is always an issue where people talked about who are the Rwandan creative, where are they? So we will provide, we are providing a digital profiling that can showcase different categories of creatives. Here we are not just talking about painters or photographers, we are talking about wedding decorators, we are talking carpenters, anyone who is really into the creative sector. And then lastly, as well, it's a job market for, again, creatives. This is where Rwandan creative will be hired, both nationally and internationally as well, in a sense that we would work with different partners in terms of recruitment to make sure that these guys are being placed on the market. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Malik. And just wanted to put a spotlight on that so that creatives understand there are more opportunities out there and there are systems put in place for you to have the structures that are needed by the banks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome an amazing voice that is going to soothe this evening. Put your hands together for Bukuru on stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so honored to be here, and it's amazing to sing after such great news. And I wanted to give myself away as a guinea pig. I hope they start on me.
abyuka kare butaracyareberabe ngo hatagira igice ibitotsi by'abanjye akora cyane ngo tutazakorwa n'ikinaroya niba hari icyo bisa urukundo nicyo wanyeretse ndabibona unkondo binyereka umwana ugira inama utitanifuhe ndakubona unkondo binyereka uri imfura kandi umubyeyi uri n'intwari uri umurinzi uri n'intwari itabyirata hari kubumba ivuge nte niba hari icyo bisa urukundo icyo wanyeretse ndabibona unkondo binyereka umuntu ugira inama utitanifuhe nyinshi ndakubona unkondo binyereka umuntu ugira
Ladies and gentlemen, an amazing performance by Bukuru, supported by another creative, Rugijema Arts. All right, here we are. The creatives that participated in the logo challenge. Here we are. This was the logo that was selected among thousands of creatives that shared their art. But you realize that seeing the logo is not the anticipation. The winner of the logo, do you know that up until now, even the designers, they don't know who the winner is? All right? Now let me give you a little bit of some background. The winner is walking away with 5 million Rwandan francs. 5 million. And of course, the first runner-up and the second runner-up are also going to be rewarded. And I think for tonight, we can all acknowledge the fact that a new brand has been created by artists. You can imagine the artist that has created this. It's going to be forever there. And he's going to say, or she's going to say, that I did that. That is what I call a legacy. It's beautiful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be calling upon different partners that are going to help me award the winners. We'll start with the second runner-up. We'll go to the first runner-up, and then we'll award the winner. I'm getting the notes so that I don't call wakabiri nga mujiri wa mbere. Okay, here we go. I have the list. It's official. Allow me to welcome a representative from BK Foundation. I think we have Ingrid in the house. Thank you very much to join us. You're going to be helping me on the awarding part. We are starting with the second runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, the second runner-up is, give me some drum rolls. Anne Betian Uwababjeyi. Anne Uwababjeyi came in as the third designer that brought it to life. Congratulations to you, Anne. Let me ask the team to please bring forward a check that is going to be given to Anne for participating and being the third in the thousands of the designs that we received. She's getting 2 million Rwandan francs. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can take your seats and make sure you walk with that check. If it's even possible, bank it. Up to the first runner-up, allow me to welcome the CEO of BK to join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the first runner-up is, give me some drum rolls, Ntwari Irakoze. Ntwari Irakoze. Do we have Ntwari Irakoze in the house? Look at that. Ntwari Irakoze comes in as the first runner-up. Congratulations to you, Ntwari. Ntwari goes home with 3 million Rwandan francs. And just like that, people, Ntwari can easily update his laptop just by giving it a try. Thank you very much. And now, to award the winner, allow me to welcome our guest of honor, Honorable Minister Sandrine Mutoni on stage. And I would love to ask you, after we announce, you could go ahead and deliver your remarks. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the legacy of Bkreative is, give me some drum rolls, Ruzindana Eric is the winner. Do we have Ruzindana Eric? Ruzindana Eric comes in. Who is Ruzindana? Undini manager. Okay, sawa. Structure, system, structure. Somebody's gonna be signing the contract. Ayaya, uzamenye. Buriya wabonera mujiriye n'inama kantu kaje. Beautiful, 5 million. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Ruzindana, and the manager or the partner. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, keeping up with the same momentum, allow me to welcome our guest of honor to deliver her remarks. The floor is all yours.
Muraho. To the CEO of Bk, I think she just stepped out. A country director of the British Council. We have the president of the Rwanda Art Council as well with us. Bk Foundation, we have so many partners tonight, all protocols observed. Once again, a very, very creative evening to all of you. It's a pleasure standing here, and I would like to first start by acknowledging the partnership we have with Bk. When we met with the CEO and the team of Bk, it was a very enlightening conversation, and I believe that tonight Bk was able to bridge a very, very big gap that we had for so long in our community. And you did so by bringing together the financial literacy with the creative literacy that we were just discussing a few minutes ago. So if you allow, please give another round of applause to Bk. I want to take a minute to also acknowledge the different stakeholders we have in this industry who made tonight possible. When CEO was delivering her remarks, she said that Bk has been around for 60 years and it took 60 years to get here. I think tonight took place because the creative sector was also ready for what was going to happen. Giving this type of responsibility to a sector that is not structured yet is dangerous, and it can actually create even more, negative consequences in the long term. So I believe that this is timely. We are now seeing many more people around coming together from the private sector. We are seeing more and more collaboration within the creative industries as well. And we are also seeing an emerging number of managers. We're always talking about what Kivumbi said earlier. This sector can only be as successful as the people around it, the people who accompany the creatives, who make sure that the creative can focus on the art while someone else handles the PR part, handles the contract signing, handles the intellectual property. So as it was said earlier, we need structure. We need structure. We need to have an ecosystem that is ready to welcome this type of investment. Because for a bank to go to the board and defend the point of the creative industry is not something that just happens overnight. Because you can imagine there are so many competing sectors. So the message that I have for tonight, once again, is to thank the bank for trusting the creative economy, is to thank the creatives for putting all the hard work needed for the bank to come forward and trust their businesses, and to make another call to all the stakeholders here tonight, from the development partners to the people in the private sector. Tonight you're seeing the biggest bank of our country believing in this economy and believing that the creative economy of Rwanda can be a great contributor to our GDP, can contribute to our NST and our Vision 2050. So what else do we need to show you? I think the work is being done. So together, let's craft the next 60 years of Bk. Let's work together to make sure that Kivumbi can have the vision of who Kivumbi is supposed to be, and all the up-and-coming artists can also understand that now there is a structured ecosystem and that they have also to plant the seeds to make it grow even further. I thank you very much for your attention, and again, warm congratulations to Bk for this program.
Thank you very much for the kind remarks, and indeed, the industry is now ready. I can take that home. To be honest, we do feel ready. And the fact that we understand these conversations itself is readiness. If you brought these conversations 20 years ago, we would not understand them. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight has come to the end, but we've just begun. Remember, we are here to network. Which other night will you be able to meet your fellow creatives and not on a gig in the backstage? It's only today that are going to be meeting and encourage each other on how you're going to be utilizing this infrastructure. And now, ladies and gentlemen, something that the minister mentioned, there is an understanding and a partnership that was created between the bank as well as the ministry. And to conclude on that, in Kinyarwanda we have na foto na chabai. It happened in the offices. We want to see it muruhame. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to ask them to join us over there so we can take a moment of handing over the signed MOUs so that we know the commitments are real, and now it's our job to take them up and actually apply for that support. If you want to understand more information on Bkreative, check the wristbands that you have. There is a QR code that you can scan. There are two things you can get. You can easily continue and get more information, or you can quickly write to that email and just tell them, hey, I'm in, I want to start tomorrow. Listen, the money is there, the support is there, the capacity building is there. It's for you to attack. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say goodnight, but I have a message to the winners, and you're going to understand the first lesson of structure. The person who won 5 million, remember you're taking home 4,100,000. 900,000 na yachu abaturage mu misoro. So you better be ready to pay those taxes. That's something you need to understand. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, how about we call it a night and have a wonderful one? My name is Arthur. I enjoyed being your host. Thank you. A quick announcement just to give you as you walk in and network and enjoy your space. You will see some beautiful art pieces. They are brought to you by an amazing artist performer that you saw on stage supporting Bukuru. So please join in and enjoy Rwigema's art pieces. If you feel like you want to take them home, feel free to ask around and enjoy the pieces. Enjoy.
Skin complexion, I have a confession. I've been thinking things I can do to you. Oh, see, so. Oh, baby, my chérie. Rendezvous ce soir. Make I show you something. Make I give you something.